because the ground is too soft. So Carson switches to Hearn's second string, Morcon, and also out is Q8 Tower. The field then down to 23, and with me the BBC racing correspondent Peter Bromley. Peter, can you ever recall a more puzzling build-up to the race?
No, of course, the rain has spoiled the build-up, and I think everyone is at sixes and sevens, including many of the tipsters and certainly most of the trainers and jockeys.
Probably the jockeys then quite relieved that it's down to 23, I should think.
Very much so, yes. Much safer.
Right, Peter, I'm going to take you through the leading fancies. No doubt whatever that Lester Piggott will be aboard the favourite. Tinoso, now he was booked a few days ago. He delighted him in a gallop at Newmarket, and Tinoso's been quietly fancied since winning the Lingfield Derby trial. What do you think of his chances?
Well, I think he has a favourite's chance. Lester, with his unerring accuracy, has picked right. His sire, Youth, won the French Derby. He's out of a Ballymos mare. He's won at Newmarket by 8 lengths, winning a maiden, but it was when he won the Lingfield trial that he came into prominence, beating Sheerwalk by 3 lengths. He acts on very soft ground, he stays a mile and a half, and he has a touch of class, and I think that he will certainly be in my shortlist.
It'll be a remarkable year for Jeff Ragg already, having taken over from his father if Tinoso should win.
Very much so. It'll be an amazing start to his career.
Right, now, there are those who say that you've got to follow classic form. Let's come to two Vincent O'Brien runners, Lomond and Salmon Leap. Lomond, who, of course, won the English 2,000 guineas. I'd like you to put those two together and say how you think they'll fare.
Well, Lomond was a decisive winner of the 2,000 guineas, and I must say, the way he drew clear in the closing stages, I immediately thought, there's a Derby horse. But when Pat Edrick got off him, he said to Vincent O'Brien, this horse won't stay. Now, northern dancers don't tend to stay a mile and a half. That is perfectly true. But this horse is a half-brother to the American Triple Crown winner, Seattle Slew, and I like the way that he went away at Newmarket. I didn't like the way he ran in his subsequent race in the Irish 2,000 guineas when he was beaten by Wassell. But there were excuses there. He got pocketed. But when he came to make his challenge, he just ran out of steam close home. And I think Pat Edrick has a real headache to wonder whether he ought to desert his classic winning Lomond and go for a horse also by Northern Dancer and trained by Vincent O'Brien called Salmon Leap. Whatever he decides, Will Shoemaker from America will pick up the pieces and ride the discard. But I think perhaps Salmon Leap might be a slightly a better choice for the conditions. He has won over a mile and a quarter at Leopardstown. He won the Nijinsky Stakes. He's a very, very big horse. In fact, when Shoemaker rode him at Epsom, he liked him enormously and said what one of the biggest horses he'd ever sat on. And he might just be the horse for the day, Salmon Leap.
Well, with Goritis out, as we've heard, Willie Carson will switch to Morcon. Now, he won very impressively at Goodwood, but on the other hand, Carson was in no doubt that he did really want to ride Goritis.
Oh, yes. Morstan, the sire of Morcon, is a winner of the Derby. This is a horse that gets the trip. He's a horse for the conditions. He didn't beat anything much in the predominant stakes, but he did at least prove that he could stay. And I think, he'll go around in his own time. He looks like the sort of horse that will run up behind the leaders, finish 4th, 5th, 6th, in the first 6 anyway.
Now, Tolomeo took a lot of people's eyes in the Guineas because he finished very well to be second to Lomond. On the other hand, there are worries about his jockey, Gianfranco Dettori.
Yes, he lacks experience at Epsom, although he has ridden round Epsom. He rode Wallow, rather a disappointing favourite one year. This is a horse that finished like a train at the end of the 2,000 guineas after getting into difficulty. He is, I think, perhaps going to be better easier on the good ground, and I'm not so happy about him on this heavy ground.
Let's stay with classic form for a moment then and look at Wassell, because he turned round the form with Lomond in the Irish Guineas when he won the Classic for John Dunlop. Do you think he'll stay the trip?
There must be a slight doubt, because he has got a bit of sprinting blood there, but he comes from a very good staying family into which speed had been injected. He's by Mill Reef, and they seem to get all distances by Mill Reef. He won the Irish 2,000 guineas quite decisively, getting first run on Lomond. He turned the form round completely because he'd been out of sight at Newmarket. He'd lost interest at Newmarket. He's a horse that has, a relaxed way of racing, and he's got to get involved, he's got to get stirred up, and when he does get stirred up, my word, he runs. He'll run all right on Wednesday, don't worry.
Well, what a contrast this is to Shergar's year and how happy Michael Stout was after that. Of course, that's all turned very sad and sour now with the disappearance of Shergar. Let's look at Michael Stout to Cock Robin and Sheerwalk.
Well, Cock Robin, I think, will not like the ground. He was all at sea in the Guardian Classic trial when he could only finish fifth to Geordian. He was like a sailor on a drunken outing. He didn't look at all happy, and I think perhaps Sheerwalk is going to be the more fancied of the pair. Sheerwalk has excellent form. He won at first, he won at Newmarket beating Dunbeat, and then he ran second to Tinoza. Now, if you fancy Tinoza, you must put Sheerwalk in your calculations.
And Guy Harwood, double-handed with Zoffany and Geordian?
Well, Zoffany has been picked by stable jockey Greville Starkey. He was third to Sheerwalk at Newmarket, having won at Newmarket earlier. He'll wear blinkers. I can't remember when the last horse won the Derby wearing blinkers, but it's a very long time ago. Geordian, he'll like the soft ground. He handled it pretty well in the Guardian Classic trial at Sandown, and I think he'll give Cash Asmussen quite a good ride. Geordian, he'll be in the first six.
Now, some people are very impressed by one form line which occurred in Ireland, a victory recently for Carlingford Castle over a filly called Give Thanks, who'd come over here and won two of our big races. What do you think of Carlingford Castle?
Well, the form looks absolutely miraculous. Give Thanks had cleaned out our best 3-year-old fillies, and here he comes along and beats her quite comfortably. He handled very soft ground, and he is a distance winner. There's an outsider for you, Carlingford Castle from Ireland.
Well, there's a good deal of interest in the press this week over the arrival of Sloopy, a wild outsider from America. Would he have any chance at all, do you think?
Not a lot on this ground. He doesn't look to me the sort of staying type, but he is by Seattle Slew, so he's related to Lomond. I hope he runs well, because it's a very sporting gesture to send him over. He's no mug. He's won over $300,000, but I think if the race was over a mile, he'd stand a better chance. There's another overseas challenger, of course, Pluralisme from France, and he was third to Lemigrant in the Prix Lupin. He handles soft ground, and I don't think he'll run a bad race, although he's a difficult ride.
Let's have a look down towards the bottom end of the betting then, Peter. Can you put your finger on one particular outsider that you like?
Well, Yawa has a slight outside chance. He was third to Tinoza at Lingsfield, beaten quite a long way. He acts on heavy ground, and he is a distance winner. But of the others, well, I mean, I believe you can get 2,000 to 1 Hombre and Appeal to Me. Doesn't appeal to me. Nor is one of a couple of runners that Paul Kellaway has, and I don't fancy either Nayar or Mittalini.
Well, Peter, many thanks for the moment. We can have a full rundown on the latest betting show now from Ian Dark.
And not surprisingly, left the biggest Mount Tinosa is the favourite at 9-2. Then it's 7-1 Salmon Leap, 8-1 Lomond. Morcon now shows at 10-1, having been at 12-1 earlier in the day. On 12-1, Wassel and Sheerwalk, that one's come in from 20-1. On 14-1, Ptolomeo. 16's the Noble Player. A couple on 20-1, Carlingford Castle, the live outsider, and Cock Robin. 4 on 25-1, Geordian, Pluralisme, Guns of Navarone, and Zoffany. 33-1, Peter Bromlancy, Yawa. At 66-1, Nayar and Neorian. 100-1, the American horse Sloopy. On third, Tivin. 250-1, Mittalini. Appeal for Me, apparently appealing to no one at 500-1, along with Northern Trial. And at 2,000-1, quite friendless in the market, Hombre.
It's only the onus on you, Peter. Your selection, please.
Well, I hope I'm not far off the mark with Tinoza and Wassel, my pair, with the best outsider, Carlingford Castle.
Let's quickly go through the win and place approximates. Number 1, Appeal to Me, to be ridden by J. Reid, paying $79.10 for the win and $18.45 for the place. Number 2 is Carlingford Castle, to be ridden by M. Canane, $12.50 and $3.20. Number 3, Cock Robin, is a scratching. And number 4 is Gordian, to pay $13.35 and $3.50. The number 5 is Goetus, as you heard, is a scratching. Number 6 is Guns of Navarone, $13.60 and $3.40. Number 7, High Cannon, is out. Number 8 is Holmbury, paying $76.55 and $18.25. Scratch 9 and 10. Number 11 is Lomond, to pay $3.05 and $1.10 for the place. And please note that Lomond will be ridden by Willie Shoemaker. Willie Shoemaker, the champion United States jockey, riding number 11 Lomond. Number 12 is $57.75 for the win, $14.20 of the place. Number 13 is Morcon, as you heard just a few minutes ago, to be ridden by Willie Carson, returning $5.20 and $1.50. Number 14, Nar, $28.35 and $6.90. Number 15, Neorian, $89.40 and $16.20. Number 16, Northern Trial, and number 17, Puero August, are both scratchings. Number 18, Pluralumi, is returning $15.30 and $3.60. Now, number 19 is a coupled, two horses bracketed together. Number 19A is Salmon Leap, and number 19 is Sheer Walk, to return $2.10 for the win and 70 cents for the place. And please note the Salmon Walk will be ridden by Pat Edery, and a late switch has just come through on Sheer Walk. Walter Swinburne is replacing Bruce Raymond as the jockey due to another late scratching earlier in the day. So we've got Pat Edery on one of those horses, which is Salmon Leap, and Sheer Walk to be ridden by Walter Swinburne, and they're returning on a New South Wales TAB, $2.10 for the win, 70 cents for the place. Now, number 20 is Sloopy, $19.85 and $4.35. Number 21, Tenoso, the favoured way, $2.05 for the win, but $1.15 for the place, so a good return for the place there. Number 22, again, one of the bracket selections, the Noble Player and the Tivian, the two horses bracketed, $7.60 for the win and $2.15 the place. Number 23, which is another bracket, Ptolomeo and Wassel, two horses that well in the market, $4.15 for the win and $1.30 for the place. And number 24, another bracket, Yahweh and Zophany, $20.20 and $5.20. And we'll come back and go through those approximate daily double dividends after we hear Peter Bromley's call of the last 1,000 metres of last year's English Derby.
They have 5 furlongs still to run, and Florida Sun from Norwich. Lobkowitz in third place. The one that's hidden from me on the outside is Reese Glade, and they're beginning to make the turn into Tattenham Corner now. Downhill and into the straight. At Tattenham Corner, and Florida Sun in the lead. Right behind him comes Peacetime, who's made good progress. Behind him comes Norwich. Then Reese Glade dropping back. Super Sunrise coming with a run. Father Rooney's only just behind them. I can't see Golden Fleece. He's coming with a long run on the outside, and Norwich hits the front. Bob Peacetime in second place. Then comes Touching Wood. These three have drawn clear. Golden Fleece is coming with a steady run on the outside. 2 furlongs out. Norwich it is from Peacetime. Touching Wood. And Golden Fleece comes smoothly through to take up the running. And it's Golden Fleece for Ireland. And with a furlong to go, it's going to be Golden Fleece for Ireland. They have a furlong to run. Touching Wood hanging on in second place. Norwich is third. And then comes Persepolis finishing fast. Golden Fleece is the one now that they've all got to catch. And Golden Fleece is going away. Golden Fleece wins the Derby. In second place, Touching Wood, Silver Hawk and Persepolis third and fourth. Norwich came next. Behind Norwich on the inside was Paris Gold, and then Peacetime. But Golden Fleece has won like a real good one.
And Golden Fleece certainly won by a real good one, and of course owned by Robert Sangster, who in the same period of within 12 months took out the Melbourne Cup with Belldale Ball and the Derby with Golden Fleece. The approximate daily double dividends in New South Wales, number 4 Undertone, the first leg winner, with the second leg, the English Derby. Number 1 Appeal to Me, $171.95. Number 2 Carlingford Castle, $94.55. Number 4 Gordian, $64.40. Number 6 Guns of Navarone, $87.45. Number 8 Holmbury, $127.15. Number 11 Lomond, $39.50. Number 12, Mittalini, $137.55. Number 13, Morcon, $67.25. Number 14, Na, $148.35. Number 15, Nearon, $173.95. Number 18, Pluralimi, $137.55. Number 19, Salmon Leap and Sheer Walk, $24.45. Number 20, Sloopy, $112.90. Number 21, Tenoso, $28.20. Number 22, The Noble Player and Tivian, $63.85. Number 23, Ptolomeo and Wassel, $42. And number 24, Yahweh and Zophany, $136.35.